Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. The Noble Supreme bless you all. Today we are going to start yet another Dhamma discussion. So last week that we started to discuss about the Eightfold Path, which is the last group of factors which included in the Bodhjanga Dharma, factors of enlightenment. So we've discussed the first three factors of the enlightenment, the Arashtangika Marga. So let's discuss from the right livelihood. This first 5 factors that we've discussed. The page number 236. The right livelihood, Samma Ajiva. And what, monks, is right livelihood? Here, a noble disciple, having abandoned a wrong mode of livelihood, earns his living by a right livelihood. This is called right livelihood. Katamocha bhikkhave samma ajivo idha bhikkhave arya savako miccha ajivam pahaya. Samma ajivena jivikam kappeti. Ayang bucchati bhikkhave samma ajivo. For those who see this in its superficial level, see that it is a right living or righteous life. That is not a factor of the path. It becomes right livelihood only if one refrain from wrong conduct for living. Some perform unwholesome deeds in relation to show their skills or to take revenge, etc. Refrain from such verbal misconduct is the nature of the factor of the path of right speech. The nature of refrain from killing, etc., that perform to show skills, etc. In the factor of the path of right action, refrain from bodily and verbal misconduct for living and other unsuitable actions is right livelihood of the factor of the path. Right livelihood is to be explained both laypersons and the monastics separately. For the laypersons, refrain from bodily and verbal misconduct and unrighteous trade is the right livelihood. But for the monastic, purification of right livelihood is not completed only in such a way. The monastic right livelihood is included the refrain from wrong way of earning, cunningness, and refrain from wrong livelihood of beast science as well. Refrain from wrong livelihood of wrong way of earning is the 20 types of wrong way of earning, such as giving timber, kindling reeds, bamboo, flowers and fruits, etc., to the devotees with the intention of pleasing and gaining things from them. Refraining from them is a right livelihood. The 20 types of wrong earning are explained in the book of the Manual of Buddhist, Bauddhage Atpata. The wrong livelihood of cunningness is explained in the Mahanidesa with 5 terms as follows: scheming, talking, hinting, belittling, and pursuing gain with gain. In Pali, Kuhana, Lapana, Nimittika, Nippesikata, Labhena, Labhang, Nijiginsanata. So this shows that the right livelihood is clearly twofold for the lay people and the monastics. So the monastics have different way of right livelihood, since the lay people have different right livelihood. As lay people can work and earn wealth in righteous ways and means, so the monks, the monastics cannot do it. If they do that, it is wrong livelihood. So there are a number of ways as a wrong livelihood that explain according to the monastics. Let's see them. Of them, scheming is also threefold, as refusing what is going to be given by the devotees, revealing one's own virtues indirectly, and acting and maintaining the postures to depict one's virtuousness. So scheming means in Pali kuhana. So there are 3 ways of practicing that: refusing what is to be given by the devotees, revealing one's own virtues indirectly, and acting and maintaining postures to depict one's virtuousness. So those are the 3 ways. Let's see. When the devotees are trying to give something like food and drinks in order to gain more and more by deceiving them, some cunning monks say, "We do not want things more than what we need. We do not hoard things. Therefore, better you give them to another place," or referring to some foods like meat or fish, say, "Such delicious food like meat and fish are not suitable for monastic. Eating such things is the way of increased craving. For us who strive to eradicate craving need not things like expensive robes, beds, chairs, linens, and lodgings, etc." In such a way, they strive to show that they have no craving and make devotees wonder. Being deceived with such things, the devotee is thinking, "Oh, this Bhante is a wonderful one. He is virtuous and should give him something anyhow." And then they strive to give more and more things. When give such things, saying, "If we do not receive things, these things, you all have no way to perform meritorious deeds. Since you need to perform merits, let me to accept them." Saying so, he receives them all. That is the wrong livelihood of refusing food, etc., by making them wonder. So that is one of the ways that falls into the wrong livelihood for the monastic. We have to be careful and make sure that these things should be done with the wrong intention. Otherwise, sometimes they refuse without having those bad intentions, but only with having that wrong intention to taking more and more, that's the wrong way of taking things, and which falls into the wrong livelihood. Some monks strive to show that they are not ordinary ones, but with great virtue, like having jhana and paths, in order to gain things by pretending, though not telling directly. They say those who wear such and such robes are the great monks. Those who use such and such bowls and those dwellings In such and such places are the great and powerful monks. This is how they strive to give hints for people to understand that they are such virtuous ones. That is the wrong livelihood of hinting. So they indirectly tell something about themselves, having the intention to get more and more things. Some monks, in order to guess that they are having some special qualities such as jhana, sit on floor and gazed at the floor with still body. When the people arrive them, they do not talk even when the people come closer and closer. While talking, do not talk naturally but very slow. Strive to show that they do not see them and then talk after a while, uh, elapsing time. When walking on the way, just cast down eyes and walks very slowly to pretend that he is a virtuous one. Does not see the person, even thought they are very close to him, and does not talk with them. This way of pretending is wrong livelihood of maintaining postures. So those are um, the ways that the monastics sometimes get the things in wrong ways, which falls into the wrong livelihood. Talking, lapana in Pali. Here means talking to please others, to give more and more repeatedly, but not to refrain from giving. That is also a wrong livelihood of gaining requisites. There are also virtuous means to gain. Some monks, when the people visit the temple, talk like a gentleman. Good that you have visited us for an invitation. On what day is your ceremony, etc., and gain requisites. Some strive to show their association with high ranked persons, like ministers and the members of the parliament, saying that particular honorable minister, particular honorable MP or honorable lady is one of our devotees and often visits us and take care us. Saying so, they gain requisites from others. Some monks strive to praise and please people who visit them and gain requisites. Some talk like, as I remember, those days during this month you did some meritorious deeds at home. In this year, still you couldn't do it. Maybe not enough time, right? But you know, such good things should not be neglected, etc. And talk in such a way to compel them to perform a ceremony like dana and gain requisites. Some say we know well that whatever you get something special, you never forget us, and in such a way pleasing them and gain requisites. Some, when the people come to temple, just talk with them to tally with them and to please them regardless of the dhamma or the truth, and then gain requisites. Some monks strive to people, laypersons, promote laypersons by demoting themselves and gain requisites. Some talk and strive to please them, either telling them lies or true and gain requisites. Some try to console the kids of their devotees and please them and then gain requisites. All these are the wrong livelihood, which is known as talking, lapana. Naimittikata means scheming and gaining requisites by using words or action tactfully. Once a certain monk went to a certain house to take his meal and seated on an appointed seat. The lady of that home wanted to send him away, pretending that there is nothing to cook on that day, saying there is no rice to cook today, and she went to her neighbor's home. Then the monk went into the room and saw a sugar cane, a piece of jaggery, sweet palm sugar candy, some pieces of salted fish, and some rice in a jar and a pot of ghee. He then came out and sat on the seat as if he does not know anything. After a while, the lady returned home saying, "Today is a bad day, no rice to find from anywhere." When she came into the house saying so, the monk said, "It is true, good lady. This is why today I saw a sign on the way. I thought I would not get my meal today." The lady then asked Bhante, "What is that sign?" The monk then said, "Good lady, today on my way I saw a snake like that of the sugar cane on the wind windowsill. Windowsill. Then I intended to find a stone to hit the snake, and I found some pebbles like the pieces of jaggery in the jar. Then when I hit the snake with them, the snake raised its hood like a piece of salted fish in the jar. Its teeth were like that of the rice in the jar. And then I saw the flowing of foam from the mouth of the irate snake, exactly like ghee in the pot. Good lady, this is the sign that I saw today. With this, the lady realized that this monk could not be deceived and gave the sugar cane first, and then she cooked some rice and gave him with salted fish, ghee, and jaggery. In this manner, gaining requisites using words of deception is called wrong livelihood of scheming. Nippesikata means wrong livelihood of gaining things from people by suppressing them and insulting them. Therefore, some people, though do not want to give, but because of the fear of insulting, they give. Some monks disgrace and reproach such people who do not give dana and make them feel shameful and gain requisites. They insult them saying, "You have no religion, you are not going to die, going to take wealth to the next world," or else sarcastically say, "Why not? What are you talking? He has given a lot. He is a great philanthropist. How much he has given, etc. And he is not a person who is not giving. Through that he always say no to others, etc." Thus ridiculed him. Not only that, he spreads his ill nature all over. Gaining success in this manner by suppressing the people is called wrong livelihood of belittling. The wrong livelihood of pursuing wealth, gain with gain. Labena labang nijiginsanata means exchanging things from one another and gaining better one and better requisites from others. And wrong livelihood of beast science, Tirachina Vicca. In this dispensation of the Buddha, there are 8 types of science which are highly praised. Those 8 can be understood from the places where the virtue of endowed with the knowledge and conduct of the Buddha is discussed. Please read the book Suvisi Mahagune by us. There are many types of sciences in the world for gain and fun, and they are even for some extent hindrances for the attainment of Nibbana. In this dispensation of the Buddha, they are called beast science. In the Brahmajala Sutta, Diga Nikaya, etc., There are three kinds of morality, namely short section on morality, middle section on morality, and the large section on morality. In Pali, Chula Sila, Majjhima Sila, and Maha Sila. When explained the large section on morality, it is explained many types of beat signs such as palm, mystery, diving, divining by signs, portents, dreams, body marks, mouse naming, fire oblations from a ladle of husks, rice powder, rice grains, ghee or oil from the mouth or of the blood. Reading the fingertips, house and garden law, etc. Gaining receipts from such things is a wrong livelihood of beast science. Since beast sciences are many, here we do not explain them. Those who wish to read them can read either from the Brahmajala Sutta or Samanyapala Sutta of the Digha Nikaya or Suvisi Mahagune by us. Refraining from these entire wrong livelihoods and observing the precepts appointed for the right livelihood is right livelihood for monks. This path factor of right livelihood is also at the state of mundane level, arising separately as a cause to refrain from killing, etc. At the moment of state of supra-mundane path, it combines with other ways and abandons all misconducts one by one. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood. These three factors of the path are the three abstinence of mental states in the Abhidhamma, the factors, the mental factors. The abstinences are mental states which are devoid and unwholesome. The abstinences are threefold. As abstaining from evil as occasion arises, considering one's birth, age, education, etc. Sampatti virati, abstaining from evil in accordance with one's observances. Samadhana virati, and abstinences of an noble discipline by completely eradicating all the roots of evil. Samuchcheda virati. What is called Sampatta virati is without precondition of thinking, I will refrain from these evil deeds, or I never do these types of evil deeds, or observing any such things, simply refrain from doing evil things. When the time arises, evil deeds by thinking of one's own uh, unsuitability of such evil deeds to a person at that age or the level of education, etc. As an example for this, we can cite the story of Chakkana, who lived in this island, Sri Lanka. Chakkana was a young gentleman. At this young age, his mother was gravely ill. The indigenous doctor prescribed some rabbit meat for her as a medication. Then his older brother asked him to go to the paddy field and get some rabbit meats. In the field, there were tender leaves of rice, and the rabbits used to come there to eat them. One innocent rabbit, having seen Chakkana, started to flee from him. Unfortunately, it was caught with a creeper and cried bitterly as kiri kiri. Having heard of this sound of the habit, of the rabbit, Chakkana went there and thought to kill the rabbit for his mother. However, within fraction of a second, a thought arose in him that it was not good. Why should I kill this innocent little one just to save my mother's life? And what is the meaning of taking life to save a life? He thought. Then he released the rabbit and went back home. When he went home, his older brother asked him whether he has gotten some rabbit meat. Chakkana then told them the story of the innocent rabbit that was caught in the wine. Yet his older brother was not happy and scolded him. Then Chakkana went to his mother and made an asseveration of truth. From the time of my birth, I have never killed a being intentionally. This is a truth, nothing but truth. By the power of this truth, may my mother's ailment cease. He asseverated, and immediately the mother's ailment ceased. Those who have observed precepts saying, I do not commit this type of unwholesome and refrain from this kind of unwholesome action and abstain from such actions is called samadhana virati. As an example for this is a story of a farmer which took place in the mountain of the north Vadunna, Utturu Vadunna. In this island of Sri Lanka is given, this is the story. So the first one about the Chakkana story is an example for Sampatta Virati. Now it is an example for Samadhana Virati. This farmer who lived in the north Vadunna observed the 5 precepts from a very reverend monk named Pingala Buddharakkhita of Ambariya Vihara. One day he went to the paddy field and plowed the field. However, while he was having a nap after lunch, he lost one of his bulls. Then he went into the woods seeking the bull. Unfortunately, while he was in the woods, Python caught him. In his hand, he had a sharp knife. With that, he could easily cut up and Python into pieces and escape from it. Even he thought of doing so first. However, later he thought, no, I should not do it. A venerable teacher gave me precepts. I should not break the precepts. By this time, the python was coiling him from his legs upwards and the pain was quite unbearable. However, he endured it and finally determined, well, I will sacrifice my life now, but never break precepts. He then, in order to prevent the arising thought again and again for killing, he threw away his sharp knife. Right after the python released him and sneaked away. The abstinence that arises together with the supramundane consciousness is called samucceda virati. With the arising of it, noble persons never think of killing or harming. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood are the 3 factors of morality. In the Noble Eightfold Path, however, morality is not considered a part of the factors of enlightenment. As given here, only the precepts which guard with the intention of obtaining paths, fruitions, and nibbana are included in the factors of enlightenment. Most people protect precepts in order to gain happiness of both in heaven and the human realm. Since that precept associated with rituals is not pertaining to attain nibbana, it is not included in the factors of enlightenment. Morality of those who have given up the intention of attaining paths and fruitions in the life and wish to gain wealth and properties and attain Nibbana in the future life, though not included to the Adi Brahmacharya Sila, morality of genuine pure conduct consists in right speech, right bodily action, and right livelihood, forms third, fourth, and fifth links of the Eightfold Path, or the factors of enlightenment, since there is the expectation of Nibbana. It is to be said that in one sense it can be included to morality of perfection. So that is about the right livelihood. There was quite a bit long description about it for lay people and about monks. So anything to be discussed about this path factor? Mahinda Mahatma?
Bante, I think it's clear, rather a long explanation, but it's clear.
Then let's move on. The right effort, the Samma Vayama. And what monks is right effort? Here, a monk generate desire for the non-arising of unarisen evil, unwholesome states. He makes an effort, arouses energy, applies his mind, and strives. He generates desire for the abandoning of arisen evil, unwholesome states. He generates desire for the arising of unarisen wholesome states. He generates desire for the maintenance of arising wholesome states. For they are non-delusion, increase, expansion, and fulfillment by development. He makes an effort, arouses energy, applies his mind, and strives. This is called right effort. Among the factors of the path, the right effort is the mental state of energy that was mentioned earlier as right effort. Energy as a road to power, energy as a spiritual faculty, energy as a spiritual power, and the factor of enlightenment of energy, since it has been explained in details in the section of right effort, there is nothing special to explain here. So as we've discussed before several times, here there is no more explanation about the virya or the effort. The right mindfulness, samma sati. And what monks is right mindfulness? Here a monk dwells contemplating the body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed covetousness and displeasure in regard to the world. He dwells contemplating feelings, in feelings, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed covetousness and displeasure in regard to the world. He dwells contemplating mind in mind, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed covetousness and displeasure in regard to the world. He dwells contemplating phenomena in phenomena, ardent, clearly comprehending, and mindful, having removed covetousness and displeasure in regard to the world. This is called right mindfulness. According to this teaching, right mindfulness as a factor of the path, as the four establishments of mindfulness mentioned above, what we call the four establishments of mindfulness, is one of the mental states of mindfulness in the 52 mental states. This mindfulness arises at the time of performing skillful deeds in order to gain wealth and properties too. However, mindfulness which is pertaining to the attainment of Nibbana is considered here as a factor of enlightenment. At the time of mundane level, it is there in the subject of body, etc. When it is developed in the subject of body, etc., in such a way, it arises at the level of supra-mundane and arises as a goal to Nibbana together with other factors of the path. So we know that there's a mental factor called sati in all the wholesome consciousnesses. So that's what explained here as the sati. And in day-to-day activities like the correct ones, maybe as a profession or doing something good in all those occasions, the wholesome mental factor called sati or the mindfulness arises. But when someone practices the spiritual qualities, then we can put them into as the bojjhangas or the path factors. Then the explanation of the four establishments of mindfulness has been given above. In the above Pali passage, we came across the phrase Vinayaloke abhijja domanasam, which means having abundant both covetousness and grief. Here then the loka should be understood clearly. Loka simply means the world, but here it means body feeling, consciousness and the mental phenomena, which are the basis of the objects for the mental states of mindfulness that leads to Nibbana. So the covetousness means one of the 10 unwholesome parts or the unwholesome factors. It means that the having desires towards others' property, strong desires, that is what you call covetousness. For those who think of the body, etc., without wisdom arises attachment. With the decaying of them arises repulsion or unhappiness. It is the nature of the ordinary persons that they attach to things which impinge to their senses. Here, repulsion means go against the grain. It is because of attachment and repulsion that beings are wandering in samsara without escaping them from it. Both happiness and unhappiness arise to those who see body, etc., as permanent happiness, auspicious, and self. For those those practitioners who see head hairs, etc., of the body with mindfulness, do not arise attachment or repulsion. The path to Nibbana is being mindful so that there never arise both attachment and repulsion. Therefore, mindfulness based on wisdom is the right mindfulness or the factor of right mindfulness of the path. So that is about the Samma Sati. The seventh, the path factor. Let's talk about the last one, the right concentration, Samma Samadhi. And what monks is right concentration? Here, monks, secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, a practitioner enters and dwells in the first jhana, which is accompanied by applied thought, which means vitakka, and sustained thought, which are the rapture and happiness born of seclusion. With the subsiding of applied thought and sustained thought, he enters and dwells in the second jhana, which has internal confidence and unification of mind, is without applied thought and sustained thought, and has rapture and happiness born from concentration. With the fading away as well of rapture, he dwells equanimous and mindful, and clearly comprehending, he experiences happiness with the body. He enters and dwells in the third jhana, of which the noble ones declare. He is equanimous, mindful, one who dwells happily with the abandoning of pleasure and pain, and with the previous passing away of joy and displeasure. He enters and dwells in the fourth jhana, which is neither painful nor pleasant, and includes the purification of mindfulness and equanimity. This is called right concentration. When examining the above passage of its superficial level, it seems that right concentration means the person, but it should not be taken like that. It is a teaching to teach us the Dhamma of the person's inner qualities, such as teaching is called Puggala Puggaladitthana Deshana. The teaching based on individual. There are many such teachings on the three baskets, Tripitaka. In short, the meaning of the above passage is that the concentration of the first jhana, the second jhana, the third jhana, and the fourth jhana are the right concentration of the factor of the path. The above four concentrations are also twofold as mundane and supramundane. Some persons develop mundane concentration in order to be reborn in the Brahma world, etc. Since that concentration is associated with rituals, it is not included to the right concentration of the factor of enlightenment. Those who strive to come to the supramundane path too are also as twofold as practicing of serenity and insight, Samatha and Vipassana yanika. Of them, those who practice serenity develop jhana only as a means to support to the supramundane path. Therefore, their four mundane concentration are included to the right concentration of the Noble Eightfold Path. In the discourse of the analysis of the path, both preparatory concentration and access concentration, which means Parikarma Samadhi and Upachara Samadhi. Parikarma means the preparatory level, the very beginning level, and access concentration means quite closed concentration to the jhanas. That is called Upachara Samadhi. The two sensual sphere concentrations are not discussed because of the necessity of discussing only the greatest concentration. The preparatory concentration and access concentration of the sensual sphere of the practitioners of both serenity and insight are the path of right concentration. At the mundane level, it is developed even in the kasina device and eventually at the time of the arising of the supra-mundane consciousness. It merges with the other factors of the path in order to arise as a goal to the attainment of Nibbana. So that is about the eight path factor, the Samma Samadhi. It was about the four jhanas, as we've discussed before. The four jhanas, when one gets the four jhanas, they suppress the five, the hindrances, the nivarana. Then they can practice the samatha, or the vipassana, insight meditation quite well. And in the teachings of the Buddha, there are two way of practicing vipassana. Samatha yanika means only having the samatha, and vipassana yanika means having the jhana, practicing jhana, and then practice vipassana. So those two ways that one can practice the Eightfold Path. So it is about Eightfold Path that we discuss. Okay, let's see the next. How the Noble Eightfold Path is grouped into the three aggregates or three groups. In this dispensation of the Buddha, there are three factors of such morality: concentration and wisdom, to be aroused and developed for the attainment of Nibbana. Morality, though one in its nature, there are many discrepancies. Having collected numerous types of morality, it is simply called the aggregate of morality, Sila Skandha. Concentration and wisdom are also numerous in its form. Having collected various kinds of concentrations, it is called the aggregates of concentration. Numerous kinds of wisdom have been put into one, and it's called the aggregate of wisdom. According to the Chulavedalla Sutta of the Majjhima Nikaya, in the Noble Eightfold Path, right speech, right action, and right livelihood are the aggregate of morality. This morality consists of the Noble Eightfold Path, is the eight lifetime precepts, Ajiva Attamaka Sila. Though administering this precept of the eight lifetime precepts, Ajiva Attamaka Sila, it's quite difficult to observe and guard these precepts as the daily precepts to the persons who have not completely cut off defilements. The five precepts, which is the daily precepts of the ordinary persons, have been arranged only with the four precepts from the eight lifetime precepts. The eight precepts, nine precepts, and the 10 precepts are also having been composed only with these four precepts. Even the precepts for the novices have been arranged only with these four precepts. The greatest precepts, which has many different precepts, is the precept of higher ordination, Upasampada Sila. In that Sila also has no training precepts for the verbal restraint, as refrain from frivolous talk, Sampapalapa. In accordance with that, even for the precepts of the monks and nuns who are engaged in monastic life to attain Nibbana have not been included all the precepts of the eight lifetime precepts. In accordance with many discourse in the three baskets as well as in the commentaries, the five precepts are the daily precepts. According to the commentary, the precepts of the stream enterer, which is called Aryakanta Sila, the precepts that which is dear to the noble ones, is also the five precepts. Though the eight lifetime precepts are included in the Noble Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path is to be developed and cultivated. The establishments of either of the five precepts, eight precepts, or the precepts of the higher ordination, and developing the practicing of vipassana. When practicing vipassana, one abandons wrong speech, wrong action, wrong livelihood, and develops the factors of the path of right speech, right action, and right livelihood. That is how one who has achieved the first path of stream entry becomes the one who possesses of the pristine pure immorality which is dear to the noble one and conducive to the concentration. Arya Kanta Silehi Samannagato Hoti. That happens not because of observing morality, but because of the eradication of defilements and reaching the state of impossibility of doing any evil, unwholesome deeds like taking life. In the first discourse of the Buddha, the setting of the motion of the wheel of the Dhammacakka Sutta, this has been explained as it gives rise to vision, to knowledge, leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, and to Nibbana. Right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These three belong to the aggregate of concentration. For the arising of concentration, there should be mindfulness as well. Therefore, mindfulness is included to the aggregate of concentration. See Samadhi Skandha. For the development of both mindfulness and concentration, energy is very much needed. Therefore, energy is also included to the aggregate of concentration. Right view and right intention, these two things are grouped into the aggregate of wisdom. As mentioned in the discourse of Chula Vedalla, both right view and right intention are included to the aggregate of wisdom. Right view is the pure wisdom, since it is supportive to the right view, as its conduct, right intention as a factor of the path included to the aggregate of wisdom. The Noble Eightfold Path is grouped into three as morality, concentration, and wisdom, in order to show that they are the three Dhamma of the order. The development of the Noble Eightfold Path is the development of morality, concentration, and wisdom. And the development of morality, concentration, and wisdom is the development of the Noble Eightfold Path. So that is about the Noble Eightfold Path. So anything to be discussed about what we have been discussing here, Mahimbana?
Mm. One thing I think it's clear.
Okay, then
Discussed.
next time we will discuss from the next chapter, the Supramundane Noble Eightfold Path. So let's wind up today's Dhamma discussion from here. Okay, by learning this noble Dhamma, we all generated enormous amounts of wholesome thoughts in our hearts. So let's transfer, let's share these merits with the departed relatives. May all our relatives accept these merits and attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idhammi ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idhammi ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Let's share the merits to the devas as well. Itthavata cha amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya itthavata cha amhehi sambhatam punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya itthavata cha amhehi sambhatam punya sampadang Sabbi deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. By the power of the merits that we've generated today, may lead us to supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Thiruvan Saranai Hemidanatama. May the noble triple gem bless you all.
Much merit to you, Bante.
Thank you, Thiruvan Saranai.